Going back to destroying, we're going to destroy any and all waste of time, because it becomes a waste of time when you surround yourself with fucking pinchy tontos that just like, they lack direction in their life, and they don't even give a fucking, and then my wife's a bitch, they're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure she is, because you're talking about her like a bitch right now, you know what I mean?
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower, to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower, to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower, to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower, to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now, while the angels fly over my headstone.
We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast with your boy Big Sir Bavelli, back in the place to be, La Merca Superior Palace 81 Studios. We are live in effect, live and direct. It's your boy Mr. 9 Times. Yeah, man, today's mathematics is Monday, September 8th, 2025, which means today's mathematics is build, destroy. We doing a lot of building, but let's talk about destroy. Destroy is probably my favorite word in supreme mathematics. It's one of my favorite numbers, but for sure, destroy, when we're talking about building and destroying, with me, it's always destroying negativity and severing any just kind of unwanted energy and bullshit that you be around. There's a lot of just bullshit out there, or just negative energy. So we need to destroy the things that are no longer serving us in our life, whether that be people, places, or things. If we're talking about destroying, let's destroy any and all addictions, any and all just anything that we cling to or that clings to us that it just doesn't serve us anymore. Let's destroy that. Peace. Today's drip check, we have Vomero 18s that I got in Indiana. I got them the day that they dropped. These are fire as fuck, because when I bought them, as you could see, they have just a really nice beige, and I forgot what colorway these are, but they have kind of I don't know if you would call this I call them like a rainbow fish, but almost like a gradient color to the swoosh. And these lines on the side, and also on the tongue, and then even right here it says Nike International. I don't know what material you call them, but they're glow in the dark, right? So I was outside doing some shit, and when I came back inside, I noticed, I'm like, the tongue is glowing. Wait a minute, not only is the tongue glowing, but the whole lines are glowing too. So I thought that was very interesting. This is probably the first shoe I've ever had that's done some shit like that. I don't know if they for real glow in the dark. I don't know if that's something like a 3M. 3M is supposed to let, cars or other people at night just let you know, like, hey, I'm running and shit. Were you about to sneeze right now? You good? You got the snivels or what, B? So anyway, I love this shoe. It's kind of like a really expensive, just run-of-the-mill mesh runner, except it has the technology that gives it the price point. I think these are $155 or $160 retail, and I'm actually very satisfied with that price, because it feels very sturdy. It doesn't feel cheap at all. The materials, just the look of it, to the feel of it, the colorway, awesome. It's very breathable. In my opinion, this is my favorite running shoe. It's probably my most comfortable running shoe that Nike has produced that I've worn. I've tried on the Pegasus premiums, they do kind of run smaller. With those though, I kind of feel like the sole, because these are just the Zoom X, the what is it, the outsole, like the bottom of the shoe, the lower, it kind of propels you forward. Nice hops. I got something in my fucking paw's mouth over here. But with the Pegasus premiums, those are 220, and those are shoes I feel like aren't really worth the money for what you pay for, because I didn't pick up Pegasus premiums because I didn't like the color. It was a very vibrant hyper pink, and I just felt like for the money they weren't worth it, and for the color it wasn't worth it. So maybe I'll find some Pegasus premiums in a different colorway that I will buy, that I will try on. But just for right now, man, 220 for runners, I don't see myself doing that. But with these Vomero 18s, what I really do appreciate is the technology of it. It's stylish, maybe not as stylish as something like a Vomero 5, but I think the only thing a Vomero 5 out beats these 18s is that they're kind of more stylish, and they offer, I guess, better colorways. You know, I would say the Vomero 5s are the dunks of the kind of like the runner shoe game. I think Vomero 5s, they're like 170, and I want to say Kayano 14s are 150. I definitely take Vomero 5s over Kayano 14s, and I kind of want to do like a really deep dive breakdown of it maybe later on. But I'll say out of all the runners I have, these are my favorite right now. Just kind of just being in the house with them. I think I was all day with the Vomero 5s today, but just putting these on and walking around, these do feel like I could be on my feet all day and I wouldn't have a problem with it. And it'd be better too, because I could kind of like maybe jog in place just to kind of like warm my feet up if I was standing around, you know, and just the material and the, more specifically, the insoles and the outsoles would give my kind of like my back more support. And honestly, these are running, more specifically for running, right? But just for what they're made for, I think I would be very, very satisfied. I keep saying that, but just, you know, I would appreciate it a lot more is what I'm trying to say. Because if I were to rank my top running shoes right now, it'd definitely be like Vomero 18s, Vomero 5s, you know, I'm trying to think. The most comfortable New Balances are probably 9060s. Then we'd have to do like Kayano 14s. And then I don't know if Osmillans are in that conversation. If we're just talking about runners, you know what I mean? I'd have to throw on some Osmillans again. I completely shit on Osmillans, but that was because I was like standing around with them and my back was hurting. I'd probably attribute that to me just standing around, and I would get how runners, they're called runners, not standers. You know what I mean? So you're supposed to be active in them with your feet and not just standing around. So I don't know, but just off the top of my head, I definitely go from most comfortable to least comfortable, but still in the top 5 for sure. Vomero 18s, Vomero 5s, 9060s, 2002Rs, and then Kayano 14s. I'd have to do more kind of like research in that and just be around in them to do like a better assessment how, when, and why these sneakers would be best, kind of like in like the scenarios you would. I don't run in them, so I don't, maybe I shouldn't give you a breakdown of that, but I would just say like overall comfortability will do something like that. For me though, honestly, Air Monarchs, for the price, beat everything out though. I don't think for $80, I don't think there's a shoe out there that's beating that. Maybe for that price point, we would have to do like a Air Monarch versus New Balance 740 versus like Saucony, Ride Millennium, we could do that. But just kind of walking around in the 740s and the Ride Millenniums, I would say just the Air Monarchs just offer more support in the outsole in the lower. So I don't see anybody beating the Monarchs. And the only thing that I would say that gives the Monarchs a run for its money are the Defy All Days. I still can't find a pair of those. They're not. I don't think they're in production. I missed out on buying a pair of those, and they're sold out in my size, and I don't see them restocking any soon. You can still buy a pair, but they're just not in my size. I think the highest size that they go right now are 10 and a half, and they're all black. I don't even think they have them in white. When I got them, they were a white pair. So I think they were white with the fucking navy, but I know they have white and black, all black, and maybe I think there's even a pair I seen with like white, black, and like a yellow outline on the swoosh. So I don't know. I'm definitely gonna keep everybody updated, but just honestly, bro, this is very unique. That there's no other sneaker that I have that fucking glows in the dark after you be in the sun with them. This kind of like the Zoom X outsole, it's very breathable, more breathable. This shoe, it literally feels like you're not even wearing a shoe. It's like your feet feel like they're taking deep, fresh breaths. You know what I mean? I think I said that with some other fucking shoe, but for right now, for a runner, this is the best sneaker that I got. But the fact that I could buy two Air Monarchs with one pair of these, I still say Air Monarchs get the edge over them, but it's not like leaps and bounds. You know what I mean? It's like for the price. But if you do have the money, I'll go with these all day. So let's continue with our drip check. These velours, man, I kind of fucked up and I didn't put it on like a delicate wash or whatever. Velour short, anything velour, you gotta wash it on its own, because some of the dye from my other shit I can already see is kind of like discolored the shorts, and then the velour doesn't even feel smooth anymore. It feels very rough. So that just means I'm gonna have to buy another pair of velour shorts, which is fine. Someone's on this black tee, shades, and then my upside down beige Dodgers hat. So I'm working on getting Imperial, some more Imperial out there. I just be honest with you guys, I'm trying to get the brand more out there. I'm trying to spend more time figuring out how I could like market and promote the brand better than kind of like buying the clothes, because I already have the clothes. I think I'm just gonna wait until I come out with the next logo, and then I'll just be months ahead, because I think I have like 2 or 3 logos ahead of schedule. So I think that's just what I'm doing. I'm gonna just stick ahead of the drops, and then I'll showcase everything. I think what I'm gonna do is just try to promote as much of the clothes as possible, and also too, like since I lost a bunch of weight, I'm a 2X now. That means I'm gonna have to go back to last year's drops, salud, and get all the clothes that I dropped last year, because I didn't start making 2X clothes until like the Somos Leones drop, which was already August, which means I was 8 logos in already. In the Embers video, that was a 3X. What is it? The Magical Hats tee. What do I call all that? I call that the lucky number 9 drop. But I mean, I flipped the Yu-Gi-Oh card, and for those who know, and I guess if you don't know, now. If you don't know now, you know. I'm trying to stay away from that though. I'm gonna try to give everybody some original designs. I kind of don't, I'll do a cool little flip, but once this shit gets like popping, which it will, and once I start raking in money, I'm gonna have to drop the flips and just go straight original designs. Migs got my back with that, so shout out to him. He just did a logo for me that's not gonna come out for a little bit, and you'll see why. What else? I gained more weight, so we talking about this shit on the podcast, and I'm over here. I'm thinking like, okay, I was 232, I think last Monday. And then I got sick. So here's what fucked me over, right? My physical activity went down and I had COVID. So there's a COVID medicine called Paxlovid, and you take 3 pills at one time. But with these stupid shits, you have like a metal taste in your mouth the whole fucking day. So to counteract that, I was trying to drink more water. Well, that wasn't getting rid of the taste. So what's the next step? I was eating more and doing less. So I gained another 4 fucking pounds. When I got on that scale today and it said 236, I wanted to shank somebody, throw them off the top of the 12th story and fucking river dance on a corpse, bro. When I seen that shit, I couldn't believe it, bro. Because it's like what it is like the fucking months of like hard work, like it just kind of like goes away. When did the most I lost all that weight and maintained it when I was working in the valley, because in the valley they had us working like a bunch of fucking slaves, and it was very easy to maintain my weight. I was eating like shit. It wasn't a problem. I could eat whatever and I was good. And that was also taking 2 days off. I rarely take 2 days off now because, you know, I'm getting to the chicken, you know what I mean? But for me to maintain the weight I had in the valley, like I have to be doing like 8 miles every day, which I know I wasn't doing. For me to hit 7 miles when I was in the valley, that was like, holy shit, I did a lot. It was really just the physical activity. And so now I'm really gonna like make it a point to just stick with my fasting. And what it was is it was a compound of a bunch of different things, right? I was breaking my fast very frequently because people were bringing food, and my rule of thumb was always, if people bring food for everybody, I don't want to be disrespectful and eat. Now I gotta just stop that completely and be like, yo, I appreciate it, but I need to lose weight, and if they don't like it, fuck them. Then also too, I started going to the taqueria every Friday just so I could holler at chicks. That didn't help either. Barbecues, people bringing food, weekly breaking the fast every Friday, and then I went on vacation, I gained more weight, and then I got sick and I gained more weight. So here we are, my fucking 2X shirt is feeling snug and shit like that. I just, you know, when you feel like you're getting big, like I don't know if anyone's ever felt that, or maybe all you fat souls out there that just been fat since forever, y'all have never felt that feeling of where you feel like you're gaining more weight. I feel like everyone's felt that, you know, and you either have two attitudes about it. You either say fuck it and you buy bigger clothes, which I did like pretty much my whole fucking life, or you say fuck that and you lose more weight, which I'm doing now. This is the most weight I've ever gained since I lost it. You know, a little 5 pounds here and there, you know, but now that I'm progressively tracking myself and holding myself accountable to my weight, it's kind of like, nah, bro, I'm not going to end up like my 600-pound life like some of these guys that take the fucking scooters around, you know, Kroger or whatever supermarket just to fucking buy honey buns so they could fucking put more weight on the suspension in their car or whatever, just how fat they're getting, you know? Like, it's not cool. Like, I feel like I started losing weight just because I wasn't feeling good. And if I'm not feeling good again, it's time to make a change. Change is always for the better. You know, losing weight and eating healthy is a conversation no one wants to have, right? When they're cutting into, you know, a big fucking juicy steak with their big loaded mashed potatoes and, you know, fried fucking onion rings and zucchinis or whatever the fuck. Like, I get it. Like, I understand that, but we need to have these conversations as people that need to start living healthier lives. I've eaten like complete shit for like the fucking past maybe not even the past 2 weeks, but the last week, you know, just going to the store, buying even more chips and even more cookies and all this shit. It's kind of, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and you got to say, okay, what the fuck am I doing with my life? That is, and when we go back to destroying the today's mathematics, right? We need to destroy all negative things so we can build. And what I need to do in my life is to destroy all the fucking, high sodium intakes like chips or like refined sugars and all that. Like destroy all of that. There's a one of my coworkers, he's fit as fuck, and he like, not that he shows it off, but like this dude, you could tell like if he took off his shirt, he'd be chiseled, abs, all that shit. I don't fantasize about dudes with their shirts off, but I would imagine as a man, this motherfucker's taking care of himself to the point where he looks really fit and he looks really in shape and shit. And that's kind of like, though, that gives me inspiration because, I'm like, if he could do it, I could fucking do it, and it'd be easier for me to do it than for him to kind of like hit that next plateau. Like everyone's fit, right? Like he looks really fit and like muscles and shit. But if you wanted to hit that next level of, zero fats, keto, all that shit, that's an even bigger wall that you gotta climb versus me. All I would have to do is like introduce more greens and shit in my diet and then cut like all the bullshit I've been eating. So that's kind of like giving me the inspiration when I see other people, when I see them eating good, or when I see people having like a proactive fit lifestyle. It's kind of like, okay, like, I want to rock with it because I'm just sick of like a bunch of shit in my life. Like it doesn't have to be, my diet. It's like kind of like when I go about and like the way I think or the way like I just respond to the world around me. You know what I mean? Like if you're not going around thinking like maybe I shouldn't have like did that or said that or whatever, I feel like you're a moron. If you're ignorant as fuck and you don't care and you go about the world like if it doesn't matter. No, it does matter, bro. Like trust me, you affect the world around you and the world affects you, and you shouldn't let the world affect you negatively. So when we go back to destroy, we got to destroy that out of our lives, and where we take things for granted and we're just like, oh well, I'm gonna act the way I want to act and everyone should just kind of deal with it. Now fuck that, bro. You got to deal with that shit. Deal with it because it's deep inside of you and you got to correct that. You have to, because if you're going around and you're not appropriating yourself in life, you're just a moron. You're just a big fucking dummy, bro. That's how I feel. If we're just gonna talk about like life shit, I think about shit all the time in that capacity to where I'm just like, well, how I think about, first of all, I think why, right? Why did this happen? Why is this shit happening? Okay, now how can I respond in the best? You know how it's like a ABCD selection? What's the best choice to kind of handle this? Is it A, do I flip the fuck out? Is it B, do I just do nothing? C, fucking make the wrong move? Or D, pause, make the right decision? I want to make the right decisions in my life. You know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta fucking, the hardest decisions in your life, are the ones that you gotta face. Because a lot of people, like even going back to weight loss, they know they gotta be proactive in their decision making, but they just don't do it because they're comfortable or they're lazy or they just, it is what it is. Like fuck what it is, bro. Like what it is you gotta step the fuck up as a man or a woman and make sure you're on the right path for yourself and for your future. And what's good for your future ain't fucking being an argumentative little cunt or fucking eating out all the fucking time and destroying your body or having these addictions like to either alcohol or even food is an addiction, but it goes beyond that. Like having a negative mind state can be fucking addicting, and it's a cancer because misery loves company, bro. Once you be around like fucking dickheads who are just miserable and their miserable little lives, you're like, fuck that shit, destroy that, pack that up and get that the fuck out of here, right? You got to stay away from those fucking dick suckers that just want to bog you down or bog everyone down. Or it's always a constant raining on parades, bro. You got to step out of the rain and enjoy the sunshine, bro. Enjoy the sunshine. Is that right, Pop?
That's right, America.
And he has his new phone case, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Pops. You're gonna put the phone case on your phone now? He said, I don't know, maybe that's a yes to me. What do you think, Presley? You gonna do it? I think so too. So, I mean, we got a lot of messages, but we're gonna go to a couple subjects that I've been thinking about, right? So there's gentrification happening in Ontario. I mean, Ontario has always been a developing city, but there's a new sports empire facility or facilities that are gonna happen right here on Riverside Drive. It's gonna be a big fucking thing. Like they're gonna have like what looks like a stadium and baseball fields and shit like that. What it looks like is they're probably gonna have like an Ontario baseball team. Doesn't Ontario already have a baseball team, Pop? No? Who are the Quakers under? Oh, that's right. Rancho Cucamonga Quake. The Quakers or the Quakes? Yeah, Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Who the fuck wants to see them? We need an Ontario fucking what do you think our team name should be, Pop? The Ontario Taqueros. That's hard. That's dope as fuck. Pops might have just gave us an imperial idea, buddy. That's hard as fuck. Just a taco with like a baseball, holding a baseball bat. That's fire. The way I think about it is, bro, I was gonna come up here and be like, man, these fucking white people and their bullshit ideas. But check this out, man. Ain't nothing lasting forever. And in my childhood, it was primarily raza out here, especially down here on the south side, on the southeast side of Ontario, where they're building. It used to be fields like whatever, fruit fields or strawberry fields, I don't remember, but all that shit's gone, and all the farms and shit that are out here still are gonna be gone at some point soon, within the next 50 years for sure. There's gonna be no dairy farms for sure. Like they're all either gonna be like in the city of Ontario for sure. In 20 years it's gonna be gone. What's up, Pop? It's used and it's broken? Are you sure? Are you sure you don't just gotta... Let me see. See the thing real quick. Okay. I'll send it back. It's okay, no worries. I'll just get a new one. Yeah. So you don't worry that little head of yours, Pop. I got it. Yeah, just leave it there. I got it. Yeah, I need I'll take it back. That's crazy. Amazon, y'all need to get y'all shit together, man. What the fuck is this bullshit? You know, you spend fucking $65 on a fucking phone case, your shit comes back taped up and shit. You could tape these nuts to your mama's forehead and suck my dick, Amazon. Better get your shit together. I'm tired of going to the fucking UPS store and returning packages because you cocksuckers don't know how to give good customer service or what do they call that shit? A good experience. That's what y'all doing, Amazon. Y'all making experiences out here. And what I've experienced so far is some bullshit. All right? I don't appreciate y'all having me go to y'all shitty ass stores. You know what I mean? It's used and it's broken, just like your fucking sister's ass. All right, Pa, good night. Love you. So, I'm going to wrap up in like 15 minutes, Pop. Don't worry about it. So, yeah. Gentrification in Ontario is going to happen soon. There's a lot of Asian brothers and sisters around here. I don't care. As long as they don't snitch and they don't come up in here doing some bullshit. They can make a Chinese New Year, Chinatown sound, going underground loud, all that shit. I don't care. You know what I mean? We can all assimilate. I'm all for everybody getting along and having a great time. My whole thing is don't be an outsider coming in telling the people, the tierra and the natives that's been here for fucking decades before you how this program's gonna run. Nah, bro, we ain't gonna do that, bro. It's gonna be a lot of handshakes and high fives, because if not, it's gonna be some different shit around here, bro. I don't give a fuck. You know, I don't give a fuck how much money you got or if we're different people. You know, I walk around and there's this I don't mean to be racist or anything. So if y'all could take that shit up the street and out the fuck out of here, bro. So don't even give me that shit. I'm gonna be as respectful as I can, and if my best don't work for you, fuck you. So there's an Indian couple that walks around. I'm taking the kid for a walk, and I will go out of my way to say hi to them, right? But then they would just like ignore me and shit. So now I just look at them and I just start busting up laughing because I'm like, look at these fucking cocksuckers. Like, what is it? Like, do they think that they're better than me or anyone else? Is it do they don't like Mexicans, or like what is it? Because in my mind, if your neighbors, and I don't know if they're not neighbors, get the fuck out of here with that shit, number one. But if we are neighbors and your neighbor's trying to say what's up to you and you're just like, with your nose in the air, like if everyone could suck your dick, it's like, no, bitch, fuck you, suck my dick. You know, you shouldn't even be walking around the neighborhood if you're not at least gonna say hi. You know what I mean? Like, what sense does that make? I don't give a fuck where you're from. They don't say hi and look you in the eye and say what's up. Like going back before, right? A man, to show respect, you look a man in his eye. That's how you show respect here. I don't know where the fuck y'all's culture, where you getting it from, but right here, we're going to have some assimilation, bruh. That's the name of this episode, assimilation. What the fuck does that mean? To join forces, bruh. And I don't feel like joining forces with these people that they're making themselves look and feel like outsiders. I'm over here, bruh. We was the third house on the block. I seen all these houses come the fuck up out of the soil when I was a kid going on the walks with my grandmother. You know what I mean? So these people that I feel like they just, you know, what it is I feel like it comes from fear. You know what I mean? You're just afraid and shit because people are different from you. And it always goes back to like, people having differences of culture or opinions or shared beliefs or whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, it don't take $2,000 to be nice to somebody, to show somebody some respect or be polite. You just because you're polite don't mean you're nice, but at least be polite. Cause if not, fuck you. You know what I mean? That shit ain't flying with me, bruh. You know, I just thought it was very interesting. They're not the only people. I don't want to pick on them or pick on their people or ethnic group or anything like that. I see that with whites, blacks, other Mexicans, shit like that. It's just, it comes from a place of fear. You know what I mean? I was at the store and I seen the fucking Vicino that he's down the street and shit. I seen him and he like didn't want to say hi to me. And don't get me wrong, I'm this way too, but it's really more so when I'm around people that I used to see like in high school. Cause I get anxiety because like a lot of them, like especially from like right here, like they knew Raul, you know what I mean? And now that he's no longer with us, it kind of like, I have heavy feelings about that and I get anxiety. If you're just a fucking neighbor and all that shit, say what's up, man. What the fuck? You know what I mean? If I have no emotional ties to you or trauma to you, it's like we could be really cool. Going back to this guy, I seen him at the store. It's like he didn't want to say what's up to me or like he seen me and he looked away. And I was like, oh shit, what's up, bro? Like, how's it going? And you know, this fool, big, brolic, muscular ass fool. You know what I mean? He looked like The Rock. You know what I mean? When he was on the juice. And he might be juicing too, because that fool's big as hell. He's a really cool dude. He walks around with like some sort of like a palo, like if he was blind or like fucking Matt Murdock or something. And it's funny because he's big as fuck, but he has like a little ass poodle. And he's like, hey man, how's it going? You know, funny seeing you here or some shit like that. This is the first time we ever interacted outside of the block. Like we were in the store. And I was like, I said some funny shit like I always do, right? Because I got the Riz and all that. Not on no fucking fruity shit, bro. I'm just saying, like, you know, I was like, oh man, don't even think about shopping at Rouse. And she's like, hell nah. You know what I mean? Because Rouse is, you know, close by and shit. And we were somewhere else. So, you know, that's all it is, man. It like I said, man, going back to the last episode, it's all a matter of respect. You know, we got to respect one another as a society, man. And just that interaction right there, I thought it was super cool, man. I just love when interacting with other people and we get along and shit like that. Because these other dickheads, man, I walk around, man, these fools, like, I could just feel it from like miles away, just the projection of prejudice and judgmental bullshit and like all this other shit, you know? Because when and this goes back to destroying, right? Like when I observe the world around me, when people start being weird around me, then I'll internalize it and then I'll get mad and then I'll start being pissed off. And then that's when I'll like not say shit to them at all. But I shouldn't let that affect me. I should just let them be dumb fucks and continue being the regular jolly old Saint Serbies that I usually am, you know? Like I shouldn't let the world affect me. And that's what I'm saying. You know, I observe things and I try to kind of like choose the best situation out of that. You know, I guess, you know, with some situations or certain things, it does. I'm like, oh, okay, it's beating a dead horse. Like me continuously saying hi to this person and I just feel the weird energy. Okay, I stop. Like, okay, whatever. Like, it's not a big deal. I'm going to just keep walking by and you could just walk with your fucking fuck face full of bullshit, you know? But look, man, not every interaction I've been around people is bad. Those are the few bad apples, but there's way more cool people, you know, that's out there. We carry a real quick conversation. Hey, how's it going? How you been? You know, what's new? What's popping? You know, are you still working here? Are you still working there? All right, great, cool. Bye. Beautiful. Short, light, and sweet. You get on with your day. I don't want to bother anything that, you know, I don't want to take you away from your time because look, my time is precious as fuck. You get me? So I respect your time like I respect my time, and you do the same, bruh. There's some people that would like to talk your head off with their bullshit. Sorry. Stop you in your tracks. Right? Only got 24 hours in a day, dog. I'm working, I'm making moves, I'm doing shit out here. There's a lot of things that I'm doing and I can't waste it. You know, going back to destroying, we're going to destroy any and all waste of time because it becomes a waste of time when you surround yourself with fucking pinchy tontos that just like, they lack direction in their life and they don't even give a fuck. And then my wife's a bitch, you know, they're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure she is because you talking about her like a bitch right now. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, just had to spit that real shit real quick for all the true listeners of the God's Hour podcast, all my God's Hour disciples, as I would like to call them. You good? I really like that you're just laying there and you're just falling asleep to the sound of my voice. You know, it's like, is my voice like rain to you, my good sir? It's like just pitter patters of rain on a cold day in December. So we got a couple other things. Pokemon Go, the level cap increases to level 80. It's at 50 right now, and it took me a long time. It took me a lot of money to get to level fucking 50, bro. So it's saying right here that a lot of players are gonna end up jumping up because they're calibrating the fucking how you're gonna level up. So I can't wait to see it. Hopefully I jump up to like level 75 and the last 5 levels you gotta grind again. Because me, man, I love the grind. I love the hustle. I love catching. I love Pokemon Go. Not really so much raiding anymore. I used to raid heavy. I used to be in the events heavy. Now I don't care. For me, it's the consistency of playing the game and less of playing the events. You get what I mean? So I'm playing all the time. I'm playing every day, all day. So it don't matter what event it is. I'm going to catch a little bit of everything, you know? I used to be so like, oh, I got to dedicate my time to the events. But now I don't really give a fuck. So I'm interested in seeing how they're going to do it. And I want to do the Indiana trip recap with NC. So hopefully we'll do like a separate, maybe live with him later. Let me see. Man, I just talked about the neighbors too. Well, fuck it. We'll go back to the neighbors real quick, right? So I'm taking my walk, right, as I normally do, and this guy, he's talking to his kids about strangers, right? And funny, I'm like walking by. What a coincidence. That's not a surprise at all when fucking people that see you walking like all the time, they want to mention strangers to their kids as you're walking by. Okay, great, right? So the kids are funny, right? So the kids are like, oh yeah, strangers, right? Like that guy right there. And I look, and like, you ever see what's that shit? Is it Finding Nemo? Where it's like my, like all the pigeons and shit. Oh, they all look at me, right? They all look at me like a bunch of fucking pigeons. And I just look, and they all look away and shit. Like if they weren't all just staring at me. And the other lady that I'm assuming is his wife, she's like, oh no, not like him. He's probably talking about somebody like over there. I look over there, there's like nobody. I want to tell a lady it's like it's okay. Like I literally smiled and I started busting up laughing and I kept walking. By the time I did another lap, they weren't there anymore. So like I said, shook, ain't no such things as halfway crooks, you shook. So I'm number one, I just laugh because number one, they're kids, right? So I'm not gonna say shit to children. But I'm thinking to myself, bro, you see me here like all the time, if not every day. They got cameras and shit, so it's like there's no way you don't see me, right? Or maybe you're just not outside and you don't know. Maybe you don't know I'm the neighbor. Maybe you're a fucking idiot, and you're trying to teach kids the wrong thing. I'm like going to another point right here. Oh, right. So here we go, right? For them, right? They're looking at me like I'm a stranger and shit. But my other point, like I'm there all the time. So you're a fucking idiot, number one. But number two, you're teaching your kids stranger danger, which is you're teaching your kids to be afraid of other people you don't know, which isn't all the way a bad thing, but we need to reconfigure that. When like we were taught certain things growing up, we need to kind of like get that away from our kids and be like, look, it's all a matter of using the right amount of judgment. If you see this guy, he's no threat. You see him every day walking around. He's the neighbor. He's really friendly. He says hi. That's not a stranger, bro. That's just somebody that you haven't said what's up to, in my opinion. Maybe we all have different opinions. Now, granted, we all don't know what's going on in other people's lives. I could see how an outsider could be like, oh, well, this fool's like, that's like all the front. You know what I mean? We don't know who he is, behind closed curtains. And that's a complete, correct assumption or discernment. But my whole thing is going back to the respect and getting to know people. You shouldn't teach your kids right off the bat stranger danger. You should teach your kids, hey, say what's up to them. Introduce yourself. Hey, my name is fucking Kevin. I'm from fucking, la-da-da. This is Big Sur Valley. I'm from the fucking south. I'm the southeast beast of O-Town. Nice to meet you. How's it going? Oh, this is my dad. Whatever the fuck. Or if it was let's say if I don't want to talk to no kids, right? That's weird. But let's say, fucking Kevin, he just had because that's a young community. He had his wife, he got them kids, he just got the house 5 years ago. I know this for a fact. Those houses are no more than 5 years old. I know this because I seen them get built. So I'll say, yo, Kevin, how's it going, man? You just got your house or what? 'Cause y'all look like a young family, you know what I mean? Y'all are like 3 years old, so I'm assuming you had your kids while you were living here. Well, guess what? My name is Big Sur Valley. I've been here my whole fucking life, and I wouldn't curse, but I'm just saying I've been here my whole life. How's it going? You know what I mean? I hope that we see each other, and fucking... That's kind of weird. But let's just say, like, just be real cool. You know what I mean? My whole fucking point is, like, just be like, what's up? Like, what's going on with you? Oh, man, I'm just chilling right now. Like, oh. And then it just goes to, like, oh, man, like, I see you got some fucking Vomero 5s on. You in the sneakers? Boom. And it goes right there. And now you could make a friend out of somebody who was a stranger. Instead of being like, stranger danger, get the fuck away from him. I get that it's a super easy blanket statement to be like, don't trust nobody who's a fucking stranger. But me, that was never in like my mind. You know what I mean? I kind of, maybe that was taught to me, but I never really, I didn't give a fuck about any of that shit. You know what I mean? Not that I really remember. I never had no kind of, weird interactions or anything like that. I just thought it was interesting how this fool just opened his mouth, and it makes me not want to be his homie and shit. And just, I know how the way that community is. They're a bunch of paranoid weirdos. They stay in the house and they're still affected by COVID and all this shit. And it's like, whatever, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's on y'all. So I guess the message of the day is have the right discernment of judgment. Just because you think and you judge somebody a certain way doesn't mean that's the truth, bro. You gotta read between the lines and look at things and be like, oh, okay, like maybe I got the wrong idea about somebody. Cause I'll tell you, man, I've learned some shit about some people and I'm like, oh, no wonder. Not only gives me a new perspective and fresh eyes and a new way of looking at somebody, like looking at them, but the people that were talking about them, you get what I mean? So I'm like, oh, okay, like, and that's not me being like, okay, I'm going to listen to them and get away from them like some people do. Some people have talked shit about me to other people and they fuck my business up. That's fine. 50 Cent, how deep is our bond if that's all it takes for you to be gone? You know? So I'm just saying, like, just have a real good judgment about people, because maybe the way you're looking at them isn't really who they are. Or maybe it is. This is the God's Hour.
Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now.
While the angels fly over my headstone.